He was a very important thinker and writer. His ideas changed the way people thought about society, education, and politics. Even though he lived many years ago, his ideas are still important today. Rousseau was not a famous person when he was young. He did not have a lot of money, and he did not go to a big school. But he loved to read and learn. As a child, he spent a lot of time thinking about the world around him. He asked many questions about life and how things worked. He believed that people should think for themselves and question what they were told. As he grew older, Rousseau moved to Paris, where he met other thinkers. These thinkers were part of a group called the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment was a time when many people started to question old ideas about religion, politics, and science. They wanted to know how things really worked. They believed that people should use their minds to understand the world and make life better for everyone. Rousseau was different from many of the other thinkers of his time. He did not agree with everything that they believed. For example, many Enlightenment thinkers believed in using science and reason to solve problems. But Rousseau thought that too much focus on science and reason could make people forget about their feelings and their hearts. He believed that people should listen to their hearts and be true to themselves. One of the most famous things Rousseau wrote was a book called The Social Contract. In this book, he talked about how governments should work. At the time, many governments were run by kings and queens. These rulers made all the decisions, and most people had no power. Rousseau believed this was wrong. He said that the people should have the power to make decisions, not just a king or queen. Rousseau said that the best way to make decisions in a country was for everyone to agree on what was best for the whole country. He called this the general will. He believed that the general will was the will of the people, and it was always right. If everyone agreed on something, then that was the best thing to do. This idea of the general will was very important, because it said that people should work together and think about what was good for everyone, not just for themselves. Another important idea that Rousseau had was about education. In his book Émile, he explained how children should be taught. Rousseau thought that children should be allowed to grow and learn in their own way. He did not believe in teaching children to just memorize facts. Instead, he believed that children should learn by doing things and experiencing the world around them. He thought that education should help children become good people, not just smart people. Rousseau believed that in the past, people lived in a simpler and better way. He thought that long ago, before people lived in cities and had governments, people were happy and free. He called this time the state of nature. In the state of nature, people were equal. They did not fight or compete for things. They lived peacefully and took care of each other. But when people started to live in cities and form governments, things changed. Rousseau believed that the growth of cities and governments led to inequality and unfairness. Some people became very rich and others became very poor. He thought that society, with all its rules and institutions, made people selfish and unhappy. Rousseau's ideas about the state of nature and the problems of society were very different from the ideas of many other thinkers at the time. Many people believed that progress and civilization were good things. They thought that people in cities and with governments were more advanced than people in the state of nature. But Rousseau thought that progress had brought many problems, and he believed that people needed to return to a simpler way of life to be happy. Rousseau's ideas had a big impact on the world. His thoughts about the general will and democracy helped inspire many people who wanted to change the way governments work. For example, during the French Revolution in 1789, many people who were fighting for more freedom and equality used Rousseau's ideas to help guide their actions. They wanted to create a society where the people had more power, just like Rousseau said in the Social Contract. Even though Rousseau's ideas were very important, not everyone agreed with him. Some people thought his ideas were too radical or unrealistic. They believed that governments needed strong leaders to make decisions. They also thought that education should be more focused on teaching children to obey rules and follow orders, not just letting them learn by doing things. But despite the disagreements, Rousseau's ideas continued to influence many important thinkers and events. His thoughts about democracy, equality, and education still shape the way we think about the world today. People continue to read his books and talk about his ideas, even though he lived hundreds of years ago. Rousseau's life was not easy. He faced many struggles and hardships. He was often in trouble with the government and had to leave the places where he lived. He spent a lot of time in different countries, writing and thinking. But even though his life was difficult, his ideas changed the world. His work showed people that they should not just accept the way things are, but instead should think about how to make the world better. Today, we remember Rousseau as one of the most important philosophers in history. His ideas continue to inspire people to think about what is fair, just, and good for society. His work has helped us understand the importance of freedom, equality, and education. Even though he lived a long time ago, his thoughts still matter and continue to shape the way we live today.